Hi, welcome back to our PSLE Math Heuristics lessons. Now, today we are going to focus on model drawing, which is one of the most common methods or the most common method that we can use to solve word problems. So we are going to look at before and after problems. So in order to draw the model, you need to recognize what problem is, what kind of problem are you looking at. So if you look at this problem, how do you know it's a before and after? So if you read the question, Jamie had twice as much as Aisha. So this is your twice. Twice means Jamie has 2 times and Aisha has 1 time. So that is the before, right? Before means how much they have at first. So I'm going to put down before. And then there is a change or something happened, right? Jamie spent $35 and Aisha spent $10. So this is the what? This is the change. All right, so or you call it the action that's taking place. So you have one change, and then they have an equal amount of money left. That will be the leftover, the after, right? In the end, how much they have in the end. So I will call it the after. So this is your before and after problem. That's how you recognize. All right. So every time you see how much they have at first, and then how much they have in the end. So that will be a before and after. Okay. So how much money did Aisha have at first? And how much money did both of them have in the end. So the method to use here is, of course, model drawing, and the model is called your before and after model. So I'm going to draw the before model. You have Jamie and you have Aisha, and Jamie has 2 times, so draw a rectangle cut into 2 boxes, and then Aisha has one time, right? Okay, then what happened? Then Jamie spent $35, and then I shall spend $10, and then they have equal amounts of money left. Okay, now there's a very important lesson over here, and the important lesson is when you see the word equal amounts of money. So what do you think about, or what do you think of? You need to think of a dotted line to show equal amounts of money left. So you will need to draw a dotted line that cuts through both rectangles, and when it cuts through both rectangles, then you will see something. You will see the leftover money. So Jamie will have now this money left. Aisha will also have this money left. Right? So now you can see they have equal amounts of money left. So which means that where is the money they spent? So Jamie spent $35. Right? Jamie spent $35, which I will put over here. Right? Jamie spent $35. And then you have Aisha spent $10, which is this tiny little part, right? Tiny little box. And then after that, you have equal money left in the end. So that is how you show that's how you draw the model. All right, and of course, it's good to label. Okay, label as clearly as you can, then you will be able to understand your model better. Okay, so how much money did Aisha have at first? If there's no space to put the question mark or it's a bit messy, then you don't have to put the question mark, right? And how much money did both of them have in the end? So over here, I can put the question mark for part B. Part A, maybe it's a bit too messy. Then maybe I don't put the question mark there. Okay, and your model is done. And then, so once your model is done, then what do? Then you draw. Then you use the model to work out the steps. So for example, if you look at the before model, where are the units? This is your units. Okay, see that? Your units. Okay? And how about the after? You cannot call the after units because why? If you look at the after boxes, right, the after rectangles, is shorter than 1 unit. So you can't call it a unit also. You can't call that. Okay, then what do? Then you find the difference. Okay, you look at the model, you study the model, and when you do model drawing, after you are done with the drawing, now it's either you plus or you minus. What do you mean? It means that if there's a total here, right, there's a total here, I can add up the rectangles, right, the rectangles, and because there's a total given. But there's no total. You can see there's no total here. I don't know what is the total amount. So because I don't know what is the total given, then I will have to minus. So how do I minus? Okay, then this is how you do. You find the difference, which is minus. 2 unit minus 1 unit, you will get a difference of 1 unit. Right? 2 unit minus 1 unit, you get a difference of 1 unit. And then how much is that 1 unit? Then you look at the arrow. That's why you need to make sure that you draw the arrow sign clearly. So from where to where? This is your $35. Okay, $35, and then you minus the $10 that you see, and that will give you $25. which means that your 1 unit is $25. Can you see that? So 1 unit is how much? 1 unit is actually $25 over here. So this is actually 25. Okay, and then once you get 1 unit is $25, you can use that to work out the part A. So how much did Aisha have at first? Which is actually 2 times, or 2 units, right? 2 units. So Aisha must have 25 times 2, right? So Aisha has 50, right? $50 at first, and you got your part A already, right? Okay, then how much they have in the end altogether? Then if Aisha has $50 at first, then what do? Then you minus 35, right? Because Aisha spent 35. So 50 minus 35. So Aisha must have $15, right? $15 in the end. And then Jamie, right? Not Aisha, Jamie, right? Jamie. So Jamie has $15 in the end, and then Aisha will also have $15 in the end, right? So what do you see? So now you can find how much both of them have in the end, which is $15 times 2, right? $15 times 2, and both of them have $30 in the end. So that's how you draw the before and after model. Okay, yeah. So it's well, it looks a bit maybe hard to draw at first, but when you keep drawing, it becomes better and better, easier to draw. Okay, let's look at another example. And Keith and Richard had the same number of toy cars at first. Keith gave away 112 toy cars, and Richard lost 70 toy cars. Richard then had 4 times as many as Keith. So Richard got 4, and Keith got 1 time. So how many toy cars did they have all together at first? So where is your before? Your before is over here. How many they have at first? Alright, that is your before. And then where's the change? The change is over here, or the action that is taking place. That is called the change. And then where's the after? The after means how many they have in the end. So that will be your after. Okay, after. Okay, so now we can draw the model. So how do you draw the before? Both of them had the same number of toy cars. So you can draw 2 rectangles of the same length. Alright, 2 rectangles of the same length. And that's your before. And then Keith gave away 112. So you cut here. Alright. It's still there, right? Give away means you cut the rectangle, but it's still there. It means that Keith is going to give away, but hasn't given yet. That's why it's still called before. And then Richard lost 70, cut a smaller part. So Richard is going to lose 70, but hasn't lost yet because it's still inside the rectangle. So when you draw the after, okay, when you draw the after, then how do you draw? Again, make use of your dotted line. Dotted line has a few function, has a few purpose. One of the purpose is to show you how to draw or where to draw the rectangle until. For example, Keith lost 112 toy cars, so his rectangle is until the dotted line in the end, right? In the end, you need to draw his rectangle until the dotted line. So the dotted line will help you to draw more accurately. And then Richard is going to lose 70 toy cars, and his rectangle will become shorter, which is until the dotted line. Got it? Alright, that's your before and after. Alright, then what happened in the end? Richard had 4 times. So if I cannot cut the rectangle for Richard into 4 boxes, then what do? Then you just put 4 units. Right? Why cannot cut into 4 times? Because if you cut into 4 times, it will look like this, and Keith has only 1 time, which is very weird because Keith has a very long rectangle. So how are you going to understand this model, right? It looks a bit funny, right? Your 1 unit is longer than another 1 unit, so it cannot make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. So if you cannot cut into 4 boxes, then what do? There is another way, which is to put the 4 units inside and the 1 time inside Keith rectangle. Okay, alright. So in this question, what is unchanged? Everything changes, right? Everything changes. Why? Keith has lesser now, Richard has lesser now, and then their total also became lesser, right? Okay, so how many toy cars did they have all together at first? So you have to find the total. And your model is done. Okay, your model is something like this. Alright, when you draw your model, it can be different. It may not be exactly the same, but you're going to use your model to solve the problem. Okay, so how do we continue from here? Now, you can actually go backwards and put your 4 units. Alright, 4 units, and then the key rectangle, you put back the 1 unit. Alright, the 1 unit put inside, and then you can there's a total, right? There's a total. You're supposed to find the total, but you don't know what is a total, so you cannot plus the rectangles together. You cannot add them together because there's no total given to you. What do I mean? For example, you cannot take 1 unit plus 4 unit and then plus 112 and then plus 70. Then that will be equal to what? That will be equal to, we are not sure. Alright, there's no total there. So you can't plus all the rectangles together. If you cannot plus, then we have to minus. Okay, so we have to minus. So let's minus. Okay, now if you look carefully, you can compare the units. Right, if you look at the units, you have 4 units minus 1 unit, you will get 3 units. Okay, let me just make it a little more clearer. So you can see, if you look carefully, your 4 unit minus 1 unit is actually 3 units, right? 3 units. Okay, then how about your whole numbers? Your 112, right? This is your 112, and you minus 70. That will give you how many? That will give you 42, right? So which means that your 3 unit is the same as 42, right? 3 unit is equal to 42. Then your 1 unit will be equal to 42 divided by 3, and you will get 14. So now can we find how many did they have all together at first? So you can now plus 1 unit plus 112 to find Keith toy cars at first. So Keith has how many at first? So 14 plus 112, you will get 126. So Keith has 126 at first. Richard also has the same number at first. So 126 plus 126, or 126 times 2. So they have all together 252 toy cars at first. And you have solved the problem using model drawing. Alright, so this is called before and after model. Right? Okay, so we have we look at 2 problems for today's lesson. So for those of you who would like to practice, right, you may want to look at this question. Alright, have a good look at it, and then you can practice it by pausing the video, right? Pausing the video to look at this question, and then draw out on a piece of paper. And then in the next lesson, we will look at this. We will look at how to draw the model for this problem. And there is also another problem that you can practice, which is over here. So you can do the same thing. You can look at this problem carefully and then draw out the problem, and then a few days later wait for the video to come out, and then you will be able to check your answer according to the video. Okay, so that's how you can practice, right? You look at the problem, you draw out your model. So the focus is on the drawing, on the model, and then use the model to solve. And then once you have done that, then a few days later, I will make a lesson video on these 2 problems, and then you can use the video to check whether you got it correct. Alright, so stay tuned for the next model drawing lesson, and then we will talk about these 2 problems, which is your homework. Okay, your homework. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson.